the final portion of our final concert of the year. Please welcome Miamisburg High School Rhythm Symphony. About 20 minutes ago, you heard a piece by American composer John Mackey. You hear another piece by John Mackey. We didn't plan this. This is a piece. Until the Stars is from it's a high schoolized version of a symphony Mr. Mackey wrote, which is based on the story of the Odyssey. And if you know the story of the Odyssey, is Odysseus. This is the first movement of the piece entitled Hubris. Hubris is extreme arrogance, basically, is what hubris is. If you know the story of Odysseus, he was the general behind the Trojan horse. So they won the battle. Let's just say after that battle was over, Odysseus thought really, really, really highly of himself and acted accordingly. And then if you know the story, things did not turn out so well for him after that. But this is the first part of the story, when he's enjoying the results of his military victory. It's a little loud, it's a little brash, just like him. So this is John Mackey's Until the Stars. Lullaby, amazing piece. We're going to play another slow, pretty one by Eric Whitacre. This piece, I am happy to say, we've been at our first two concerts. This is an absolutely gorgeous piece that has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of tragedy. So I'm very excited about that. That's good. October is actually written in the year 2000, and it was again originally actually a 4-band, which has now been made into choral and orchestral pieces, which is backwards for how he normally does it. And it simply is about his favorite month, October. But it was premiered in May, so that's a little weird. I know the whole thing was October in May. So, interesting thing, and again, I won't get too in the weeds about music, but if you know something about music and you look at the music that Mr. Whitacre writes, you would think it should sound really, it shouldn't sound good. It really shouldn't. The way the notes are written, you're like, there's no way this is going to sound beautiful. And then it does. It's the absolute most gorgeous thing you'll ever hear. And maybe, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful pieces ever written for a band. And they play really well, so I'm really excited to hear, for you to hear them play. This is Eric Whitacre's October. Larson. You notice in our program we have a guest conductor. I met this person, I actually know the exact date, August 13, 2001. Almost a quarter century ago I met this person. The second person I ever met from Miamisburg. But a marching band practice right over there on that parking lot. And a person that I have been honored to call a friend, a mentor, and a colleague for a quarter century now. I've never worked a professional day in my life if she wasn't my colleague. She got me through more than I can imagine. I know she's done so much for almost every single one of these guys up here, and I'm probably at least 40 or 50 of you sitting out in this audience right now. As you know, Ms. Patti Bennett is retiring at the end of this year after 34 amazing years in music education. Everybody this coming Monday, Mr. Wintershire mentioned it a little bit ago, it's her final concert, so this is her second to last one. Our 7th grade band, we've actually had a piece written for her. Our 7th grade band is going to be performing at the end of the night on Monday, so we hope that'll be over at the middle school, so we hope you'll join us. But I found there was no better way. She started most of them and give her one more chance to conduct them. I can't think of a more appropriate piece as the official march of the Women's National Band Director Association. So here to conduct the Women of the Podium March, please join me, who needs no introduction, Mr. Patti Bennett.
spring of 2020, right? So the kids up here that are seniors missed an entire quarter of school, and they had to suffer my remote teaching. We can't see you. Okay, well, I don't know how to do this. Thank you so much to all of you for saying, you know what, band sounds like cool, let's put my kid in band. That's awesome. And so thank you to all of you. I know lots of you out there were my students a long time ago. And you have wonderful children. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to my family. It has been an amazing, amazing career. There is nothing else in this world that I would have wanted to do with my life for the past 34 years. So thank you so very much.
Symphony voted about 5 times. I guess she did. But I think her dog also voted a couple times. But so Blue Shades it's almost now what 30 years old, and it's still played all over the world. It's played by professional ensembles, university ensembles, military ensembles. Simply put, it's a masterpiece of band music. It's also to kind of defend the look. It's really, really, really difficult, which you're going to hear really, really quickly. Some of the things that a lot of these kids are going to be asked to do is going to blow you away here in a second. The piece is shades of the blues, so it's not a blues like a jazz band piece. It just consistently hints at it in a variety of ways, and it's really based mostly on the interval, musical interval that you hear in the blues. It's literally the first 2 notes you hear the whole piece. It sets up the whole next whole lot of stuff. And it's going to take you on this journey through a lot of different things. You're going to hear a lot of soloists playing professional level solos and doing a lot of amazing things. And the fact that we've been able to put this together with the other music and 2-hour delays and state testing and AP testing and all that, I'm just so utterly extraordinarily proud of these guys. And we know you're going to enjoy it. We enjoyed it. This is Frank Ticheli's Blue Shades. Cool. So before we play our last song, get us indulging for about 30 seconds. So I just want to take a second before we play our last tune. And you know, I've spoken with a lot of these guys, both current and former students, sitting here in front of you. You know, 6, 7 years ago, Mrs. Bennett talked about how, you know, in the middle of March, kind of everything was taken away from all of our students, and we lost a lot during that. And one thing we try to reinforce with that is, you know, treat every day, give every day everything you can, because you never know what tomorrow is going to lead to. You never know what tomorrow is going to bring. So, you know, I think that really rings true, and I want to make sure that these guys understand that. I want to take a second and, on behalf of my family, so many of you I know were just so supportive of us this past year. I think it was not the easiest year for me and my family, and so many of you were so supportive of that, and we're so thankful. And I'm just so appreciative that we're able to spend this time together. And we never know what tomorrow is going to lead to. We never know where anything might go. So I love every single one of you guys. I love everybody out here. Thank you all just so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone. And thank you. This last piece, I've given this speech now 19 years in a row. My mom is here. Hi, my mom. Say hi to my mom. She has been a grandmother since 1993. My first year as the Wind Symphony director, we finished the spring concert, and I expected her to give me a hug and tell me how proud she was of me and how great the concert was. And she looked at me and she went, "You didn't play a march." Thanks, Mom. I love you too. So I promised then, and we've held to it every year since, we would end our spring concert not only with a march, but with the march. And we've now had hats. I see Mr. Whitman way copying hats. Okay. I couldn't keep my serious speech a second ago. All right. So we hope you'll enjoy. We hope you'll celebrate with us America's National March on our 250th birthday. We hope you enjoy the Stars and Stripes.